What's up, people? It's your boy Tosin. Back at you with another episode, or should I say, another live episode. I'm doing something a little old school here, right? I'm throwing it back to what is it, 2016, 2017 days. Actually, was it 2016? Yeah, probably 2017 was probably maybe my last ever tap in episode. And since then, obviously, the guys, my brother Dan and Steve, of course, have done good things. But I'm giving this a little throwback, and I got a little stat for you guys. A great stat between 2017 and between the time I left tapping and the time I'm doing this live stream. Arsenal have won 2 trophies, and Spurs have won 0. Right, so I got a few more stats for you, but obviously, welcome to the channel. Please make sure to smash the like button. Please make sure to subscribe, obviously, and yeah, please make sure to comment and even interact as we go along. Obviously, Toby, I want to say thanks for joining, or should I say TAPINTOBS. I can't believe you took on the name of the old pod and put it in your name. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah. How are you feeling after the derby?
I'm content, man. I'm content. I'm content with our performance. I'm happy with the character that our team showed. I'm happy with the bravery that our team showed as well, to go to a tough ground and not be deterred in terms of how they wanted to play. And I'm really happy that a lot of Arsenal fans, including yourself, had to eat some humble pie, because let's be real, you lot thought you were gonna do some serious damage to us, and we leave the game with a point. Where we're basically 6 games into whatever it is that we're trying to build with Ange, and you're about what, 4.5 years, coming up to 5 years with Arteta. So yeah, man, I can't complain. Cannot complain.
What was that comment you made? You're 6 games into Ange and we're 4. What's that supposed to mean?
As in, like, we were coming into this as the underdogs, right? And rightly so. We don't have a squad as big as yours. We don't have some of the personnel that you have, right? And you have been with a manager that has been able to set his ideas across over the last four years for you guys. Whereas we've got a manager who's only been in the gig for the last 4 months. So what I'm saying is, for us to be able to go to your ground and get a result in a game that's, let's be real, is a terrible fixture for us. I can't be mad at that. I can't be mad at that. And I'm really happy that a lot of your fans who thought you were going to beat us, you were going to batter us, you got egg on your face, because let's be real, we got a point. And if I'm being totally honest, with the players that you had left in the field in the second half, one could even say that if Spurs hadn't lost Madison to injury, or we hadn't taken off Son, who knows what could have happened.
Okay, cool. I just want to piggyback on that comment you made about, what is it, Ange versus Arteta. We'll talk about them later, but I think it was a good performance by Spurs, but I don't think we can start making those comments like, oh yeah, like Spurs coming to the Emirates 6 games in, and you see Ange's ideas and Arteta thoughts. Like, bruv, like, okay, these things happen in football. I'm naturally disappointed that we didn't, because I expected us. I was confident that we were going to come and we were going to stifle Ange Ball. And the statistics and the metrics in terms of how we played, I saw us winning by as Sammy just said, I saw us winning by like 2 goals minimum. That's what I saw us doing. But then obviously seeing that seeing the way we played is just a joke. Seeing the way we dropped in terms of our energy levels after the first 35 minutes is abysmal. And the thing is, you're talking about Ange this, Ange that, right? Like, for all of your good play, if Arsenal had just done the business and were ruthless in that 35 minutes, you are not leaving the Emirates with a point.
You don't know that.
I absolutely do know that, because we've been on the receiving end of games like that, where we've gone to other teams and we've been brave and we've played and we haven't taken our chances, and teams have not been playing better than us take their chance, and then move to us. That's what top teams, should I say, a team that's inspiring to be elite, that's what elite teams do. When teams who play good at their ground come, when they get a chance, they take it and they don't give the opposition a sniff. And I don't think we did that well. For all your good performance, in that first 35 minutes, Ange ball this, Ange ball that. How many turnovers did we force in your own defensive third? Like
Yeah,
the chances that we like Udogi, who's a good player, Saka had him on toast pretty much most of the match, right?
wouldn't say most of the match.
For all your for I think Saka edged that battle probably 65-35 in his favor. But
Listen,
for all your play, Arsenal should have won the match.
no, I don't think you should have won the game. I
Well,
think
we should have.
I don't think you should have.
Absolutely, we should have. Think
I don't
about
think
it, bruv. If we go 1-0, well, 1-0
you
up,
can speak. You speak. I'll give my point after. Go on.
yeah, we go 1-0 up. Think about any other team that supposedly is the title challenger, right? Oh, sorry, I need to show a comment. I actually did see Wes. I saw him at Chicken last Tuesday. Be humble. We came to your carport and showed you the beginning of Ange ball. Okay, great. You Spurs fans, man, ridiculous. But fair enough, you played well. But the mad thing is, as well as you played, tell me when we're 1-0 up, if Jesus takes that chance and we go 2 up, you are not leaving the Emirates of a point. No way.
Maybe not.
It's a different game. It's not even. You're definitely not. Goals change games. It's not. And even as bad as we've gone, not gone. I've had my point. Obviously, I'll let Wes enjoy his limelight. Don't worry.
No.
We eat chicken again when we come to White Hart Lane and we dunk on you. How about that?
All right, cool. Let's see if you dunk on us. But your point on goals changing games is true. Like if we go 2-0 down, then maybe we go on to lose that game, but we didn't, right? We didn't ask Jesus to blaze the chance over the bar. That's what he's been doing. Hey, Gabriel BCM Jesus, that's his name. Gabriel big chances missed. Jesus, that's his name. That's been his name in the Premier League for the last 4 or 5 years. He's been doing this week in, week out. And you say that you should have won. Why should you have won? Right? You're saying that Jesus missed that chance. What about Brennan Johnson's chance?
Yeah.
What about the 2 chances? What about the two alarm bells that should have been ringing for Arsenal before we scored our equalizer? Brennan Johnson has to score that chance. Yeah. Has to score that chance, and then he gets another one a couple moments later, and he hits it straight at David Raya. So in the space of 5 minutes, we've equaled the most amount of chances you guys created in your 35
maybe Nketiah's as well. Maybe
Nketiah's. Yeah, that's why I said 2. That's why I said 2. Nketiah and Gabriel Jesus. In fact, no, 3. 3 if you want to count the half chance that Gabriel Jesus had. So in the space of 5 minutes, we created 2 chances to your 3 in 35 minutes, and that's before the Sun goal, right? You had the first half. I'll give you. I think you guys were dominant, and it was a struggle for us to play. But I don't know what you expect. We are still a new team and we're coming to one of the toughest grounds to play in. Like, we're not going to come here and be swashbuckling from start to finish. We're going to have hiccups. But what I found commendable about Spurs is we did not stop our way of playing. Even when Madison was caught on the ball in the box, even when Destiny gave the back pass, even when we were struggling to play out of the first phase in the first 35 minutes, we didn't let that deter us. And we rightly got our goal on the stroke just before half-time. We deserved that goal. When you look at the stats heading into half-time, for all Arsenal's dominance, you had 7 attempts. We had 7 attempts. You had 3 shots on target. We had 3 shots on target, right? You had, 3 big chances created? We had 3 big chances created. So this talk that Spurs didn't deserve anything, missed me with that, because the chances you missed, we missed chances as well.
I never said you didn't deserve anything. I just said Arsenal should have won. That's it.
And I don't think you should have won. I think the draw was a fair result, and I think yes, even
it probably is. But I'm saying Arsenal should be winning that. Any top team in our position, regardless of how well you play, should be winning that. We should be winning that. Like, I don't disprove the fact that Spurs won. But by the way, one thing I want to note is I find it interesting how everyone's butt-licking Spurs now, butt-licking Ange as usual, right? I promise you, if that was us and we played the way you did, away to a team, and we kept having those turnovers, right? And we conceded the only difference between you guys is that when we did it to you, we didn't punish you. Because if we punish you with those turnovers, it's a different story. Because I've seen us do that many a time, playing big, better teams away from home, and then losing the ball like that, trying to play out the back, play our game, and then we get punished. And then people are like, oh yeah, like classic Arsenal, this, that. So my thing is like, why is it with you? Why is it brave with you? Yeah, they still play that way. But if it's us, it's naive. Like all of this Spurs butt licking it.
What are you talking about? Spurs butt licking. We're
Yeah,
literally
there
called.
is.
We're literally called bottle jobs. We're literally called Spursy. People are given, and I even think people are overdoing it with the Ange praise. I don't care, like, because we know the English media. The English media, they're going to build you up to tear you down. The same narratives they're talking about, the same narratives that they're putting towards Ange as to what makes Spurs good, is the same narrative they're going to use to break him down when shit goes south, because we will have rough spells through the season, right? But this narrative that people are bum sucking Ange Postecoglou, I do hear that they're going OTT, but there's an element to why, because he's done well. He's done well.
Yeah, yes.
Spurs are winning games. We're winning games in style, and we're actually playing football in tough circumstances, right? That game on Sunday was a tough game for Tottenham. We've only won once in 30 years. That's a tough game for Tottenham. And we were able to play our football and score and create chances. So why can't we take some confidence from that? Why can't we take some happiness from that?
I never said you can't. I'm just confused that people treat it like a win. And then
No, they're not, but they're not treating it like a win.
All the Spurs butt licking after.
They're not treating it like a win. They're not treating it like a win. A lot of your fans,
your fans are treating it like a win.
No, they're not. No, they're not. No, they're not treating it like a win. Your fans, some of your fans, including yourself, you're talking smoky. You're talking as if you're going to beat us and beat us well. And when you haven't, you have to hold your licks. Nobody is championing this result like a win, right? A lot of the Spurs players even said, Son came out and said after the game, they were disappointed that they didn't go on and win. Basuma said the same. Some Spurs fans even said they were disappointed that Son went off because they felt like the game was there to win, especially with no Declan Rice on the pitch, no Thomas Partey on the pitch, Martinelli and Trossard injured. The midfield that finished that game of Havertz, Odegaard, who we're definitely going to talk about, and Jorginho, we overpowered that midfield. And had we been able to maintain some semblance of cutting edge up top, we could have gone on to win that game. So
you couldn't really break down that defense.
What's that?
After, fair enough, you got your goals, but despite for all of your good play in the second half, you couldn't really take away our mistake. You couldn't really break down our defense.
You say take away your mistake, but are you forgetting how you scored?
Yeah, fair enough. I'm not disputing that. But the pressure we scored, but the pressure was building. We were getting in behind you guys for fun. And I'm not saying you didn't get in behind us as well. Madison absolutely spun Saka. We're going to get onto him. But all I'm saying is, for all of your bypassing our midfield, Basuma, I thought he had a great game. I think he's a good player. I don't think he's bad. But for all of that, you still couldn't get past our defense in the second half.
Yeah, because spoiler alert, your defense is one of the best in the league. Like Gabriel and Saliba were class. Is that a diss or something? Like you couldn't breach our defense. I don't really get the point you're making there. Like Saliba and Gabriel are class centre backs. It's not the end of the world.
So better than Romero, yeah.
Right now, yeah, but Romero's been fantastic so far this season.
Yes, I just wanted to.
He's been fantastic so far this season, so I don't really care. Let them be better. Him and Van de Ven, Romero and Van de Ven are playing really good football together. So don't really care. As long as they're doing the business for us, it's calm. So for me, I don't think it's over celebration of Spurs fans, or from some of the Spurs fans I'm talking about, in response to treating the draw like a win. It's more a case of teams not giving Spurs a chance in that game. Pundits not giving Spurs. Sorry, some Arsenal fans not giving Spurs a chance. Pundits, Darren Bent talking his stupid mouth off, saying how they're going to wash us, and then he had the audacity to go on TalkSport saying, Spurs should have beaten Arsenal. Shut up! What are you talking about? 2 days before you were saying that Arsenal were going to wipe the floor with us. Idiot, absolute idiot.
Well, there was a comment made basically. I wanted to move on. More player matchups, right?
Yeah.
To be honest, we understand, Arsenal had their moment, but Spurs played well. But I want to talk player for player, right? And firstly, I want to address this comment here. So this person, SOF says Odegaard had 18 passes the whole game. How can you say Arsenal dominated when your most creative player barely touched the ball? Number one, I never said we dominated. I said for the first 35 minutes, we were dominant. Outside of that, we weren't dominant. But for the first 35 minutes, we played our normal game and we slapped up Tottenham. It's that simple. right? But the main point I want to make here is this Erdegaard stuff and the inevitable comparisons you're going to get with Madison, right? Now, I actually was looking into this, and I think if you look at statistics, apparent statistics since August, like it's a fine line between Madison and Erdegaard, and I think both players offer different qualities, right? But if you deep it, most goals and assists in the Premier League since August 2022, you've got Erling Haaland. In terms of GNA, you got Erling Haaland 52, that's obvious. Mohamed Salah 37, that's obvious. Harry Kane 33, that's obvious. Next, fourth, Bukayo Saka. Fifth, Callum Wilson. Sixth, Martin Odegaard. Seventh, Ivan Toney. Eighth, Marcus Rashford with 24. And ninth, James Madison with 23. But this was as of Saturday. So obviously he got 2 assists against Arsenal. Did he get 2 assists? Yeah, he got 2 assists against Arsenal. So he's gonna edge. He edges ahead of Martin Odegaard now. But I share those stats to say there's not really that much between them. And I think any sort of criticism of Odegaard is a bit harsh because he's clearly a very, very top player for Arsenal. And players can have anonymous games where they play terrible. So I don't understand what sort of stick I've seen Arsenal fans, as well as some Spurs fans, trying to direct towards Odegaard. He dunked on you guys at White Hart Lane, played well against you at the Emirates, scored against you. I believe the season before when we beat you, he was at home. He was anonymous as well. When we moved to you 3-1, that was more the Saka, Smith Rowe, and Aubameyang show. Away from home, he was anonymous. But the season before that, his season on loan at the Emirates, when we beat you 2-1, he scored. And he was probably our best player on the pitch. He can have these games, but I'm not here for all of this nonsense comparison between the two. I don't think Madison's a better player than Odegaard. I think maybe Odegaard edges it for me, but I can see why.
Why does Odegaard edge it?
Because Odegaard can do everything Madison can do, but he works hard.
He can't do everything. He can't.
Absolutely he can. Absolutely he
can't. I'm telling you, he can't.
Yes, he can. Like, the thing is, he's and this is where this is where Arteta, for me, I have to trust him, I have to back him, but he's massively thrown off our midfield rhythm, because what you're seeing Odegaard do this season is what Arsenal brought Havertz to do. To be like this 10 trequartista ghosting in between the lines type of vibe. Because if you watch Odegaard play this season compared to last season, he may drop deep, but he's nowhere near as involved in terms of chance creation, right? His lack of chance creation is not even anything. Yeah, he's not playing as well in terms on that front, but he's playing a different role. And I think buying Havertz has sort of messed it up, because Odegaard is playing like, late runs into the box, finish off, score goals. But he wasn't doing that last season. He was adding the goals, but he was still stringing things together in midfield. He's not really doing that this season. But so I can't see what makes Madison better than Odegaard. And if people are going to use, go on. I've just he can do everything Madison can do, except for me, he just works harder. He can be the elegant 10, and he can also be a system player, and he's doing it for a bigger team with more pressure as well.
Okay, so are you finished?
Yeah.
So
I rate Madison, by the way. I think he's good. I think he's a good player.
No. You're doing this. You said Basuma's good. He's quality. You said Madison's good. Madison's more than good. Madison is one of the best midfielders in the Premier League, and he has been in the last 2-3 years. Right? He's more than good. So on Odegaard is a quality player. I do agree. There is not much between the two. Right? There's not much between the two. They're both quality players. If an Arsenal fan says to me, Odegaard is better than Madison, I'm not gonna take a huge offense to that, because Odegaard is a quality player, right? And he stepped up the goals last season, big time for Arsenal, right? And he's a playmaker. Obviously, they play in the same positions, etc., etc. And from a defensive standpoint, he leads Arsenal's press relatively well, and he wins the ball high up the pitch a good amount of times for you guys, right? But the reason why there is this perception on Madison is simply down to platform. It is platform, because if you look from the season in which Odegaard was signed permanently for Arsenal, right? So August 2021 to present day, they're on the same amount of goals, despite Madison not taking. They're in the same amount of goals, despite Madison not taking as many penalties as Odegaard, right? And then on assists, Madison has got, I think he's got more, like 8, 9, or 10 more assists than Odegaard, right? And I don't just want to read into stats. I feel like the way they play, in my opinion, I think James Madison, from a chance creation perspective, for me, is better than Odegaard. And the reason why I say that is because I feel like James Madison is maybe I'm not saying it to say that Odegaard can't do it, because he can. I watched this guy at Sociedad. His killer passing was a joke. Like, he can split defense. But I think James Madison is willing to split defenses with his passing more than Odegaard can. He's willing to play that killer ball more than Odegaard can. And the reason why people don't give James Madison the same respect that they give the likes of Odegaard, that they give the likes of even Bruno Fernandes, is simply down to platform. It's simply down to platform. People try and tar his name because Leicester got relegated. Oh, he got relegated at Leicester. What the hell does that even mean? He was their best player. He scored 10 goals, created 9 assists in the team that were relegated, with the likes of Iheanacho, a washed up Jamie Vardy, and so on and so forth up top, right? The only difference you're seeing with James Madison now in comparison to the previous seasons is a bigger platform. He's doing the exact same thing he did for Leicester for Spurs. And now you're seeing more appreciation for Madison, because nothing has changed. Nothing has changed in James Madison's game. He's doing everything. And that's what, and the reason why, for me, I prefer Madison to Odegaard is Madison, in my opinion, gives you the control that Odegaard gives you, because a lot of people like to pretend that Madison is this Bruno type player who's careless with the ball. He's not. He's routinely getting 80, 90% pass accuracy game to game. And as you've seen for Tottenham, he's affecting the game across the first, second, and third phase. And he's able to carry the ball for Spurs as well. But the difference with James Madison and Odegaard, for me, which is why I edge with Madison is more direct. When the
I'm more direct, you mean he'll cross the ball more?
I'm not talking about crossing. Have you seen Madison's passing?
His passing is amazing.
Yeah. So
the only reason, but that's not Odegaard's game. His game is he works in tight spaces, dribbles. Like, he's not.
So does Madison. Madison.
Nah, Madison does that, but his game is more. That's not more his game. That's Odegaard. Odegaard is more link play. Odegaard is the type that when he gets the ball, instead of playing, he's going to try to play 1-2, dribble in between and knock a little. Madison doesn't do that. He can do that.
No, it's not. He can. Of course he does. I don't think you're watching James Madison if you think he can't do that.
I never said he can't do that, but I'm just saying it's different playing styles.
No, it's different playing styles. But that's the point. That's the point I'm making. That's why I edge it with James Madison, because the stuff you're saying Odegaard specializes in, Madison will do that. And for me, he offers a bit more directness in the final third than Odegaard. That is why I will side with Madison, right? When I look at my team, I see someone in James Madison who can help me control a game of football and can help me win a game of football. He can do both. And this notion, this rhetoric as well, that because Odegaard worked his ups before Odegaard came into the league, and you can ask Dan about this. I think it was a stat like 2, 3, 4 years ago. Madison was one of the highest had one of the highest numbers in terms of distance covered for offensive midfielders. And when you look at the second goal we scored, he literally did the thing that Arsenal fans praise Odegaard for, which is winning the ball high up the pitch, taking it, driving it into the box, and finding the attacker who then scores. That is literally what Odegaard gets praised for. In addition to his goals last season, Odegaard was top in Europe for most possession won in the opposition half. That's what James Madison did against Arsenal. So that's why, for me, there's not much between them. But when I say that I'm siding with Madison, I have my reasons, because I feel like in a game of football, I think James Madison can do certain things with greater efficiency than Martin Odegaard. And I feel like James Madison, my last point in this, and I feel like James Madison gets painted as more of a Bruno type player than an Odegaard player, which doesn't make sense, because when you look
at Bruno type player, what do you mean?
As in a guy who has to basically give away the ball lots to sort of make his influence felt on the pitch
I don't think that's Madison.
No, not you, but I'm saying a lot of people think that because he's someone who tries to play more through balls, tries to do X, Y, Z, can beat players, can carry the ball. People associate him as someone who's going to give away the ball lots. He doesn't. He doesn't. If you look at his stats, even in a game against you guys, right? Tough game. He's playing up against one of the best midfielders in the league in Declan Rice. Very, like, when it comes to defending, Declan Rice is unreal defensively. So that's not going to be an easy game. And even in a game where he wasn't really like dominant, he's still able to make his presence felt, and he's still able to keep the game ticking. He's not wasting the ball over and over again, even though he made that mistake as well. So for me, the guy's class, man. Odegaard listen, they're both quality players. But me personally, I'm picking Madison, man. And I feel like so far this season, Madison has been excellent for Tottenham. He's been
great.
In absence of KDB, because he's injured. For me, Madison has been the best 10 on form so far this season.
Yeah, he's been great for Spurs. He's been what Spurs have been crying out for. All I'm saying is we'll see in it. It's 6 games in. Odegaard, most non-pen goals in Premier League last season, 15 goals, none of them penalties, none of them set pieces, right? But then again, I see what you say with Madison. People just like he looks like a guy that can do well in the Odegaard role, but I think why a lot of people take to Madison is because he's more get the ball, do something with it immediately. That's not the way Odegaard plays. Odegaard is get the ball, play for it a bit, play with the opponent, play, and then do something. So I think maybe that could be what people are talking about, but we'll see in it. We'll see what stats say about both come the end of the season. Another player matchup that I wanted to, it's not really a matchup, but given the performances of both, but was Son and Jesus. Because it's interesting. I said before the game that Son, I'm honestly surprised that he got 2 goals. Like, I rate him. He's a good player. I still think, despite I was saying it last season on polls, despite his poor form, he's definitely still one of the best wingers in the league. That being said, I did not expect him to get 2 goals against centre-backs like Gabriel and Saliba, which I have to say I was really, really disappointed. Really disappointed with our defense. I already know what to expect with Zinchenko. If you watch him for some of Brennan Johnson's chances, like Son is on the overlap when Son goes on the overlap, when Kulusevski has the ball, Zinchenko's literally jogging and Son is just racing past. So I already know what to expect from Zinchenko. But I was mainly kind of disappointed with Ben White. It wasn't that Gabriel or Saliba had awful games. It's just
they were good.
They were good. No, but like I don't think White had a good game. I think one of the things about White is
I'm talking about the 2 centre backs. I think White had a poor game.
White had a poor game because he's done that a lot. What I don't like is that he leaves a lot of space for wingers and he doesn't commit, and then before you know it. So I was quite impressed with Son. I'm not gonna lie. I knew he was a good finisher, but I was impressed with the way he put, like, even his first goal. That's not an easy goal. Like, that's not an easy finish to make. And my thing is, I'm just thinking this is why I said we should have won, because if we have a striker with those instincts, with our chances, it's game over by halftime. It's absolutely game over by halftime. And I think this is where I think what cost us the game is, yes, individual mistakes as usual, poor finishing, but I think our manager has to hold some stick. But it was Son and Jesus that I wanted to compare. Like, Jesus has a lot to offer. Great player. It's weird. We can't live without him in the team. But at the same time, it's like, bruv, if only you were that more clinical. And the thing is, it's not even like I'm asking for you to be like this 9 out of 10 gunman. If you're like even if he was like a 6 out of 10 gunman, he's getting a lot of goals. But the thing about his efficiency, he's like a 4 out of 10 gunman, which is just a joke.
He is. And the thing is, I used to think he was a 6 out of 10. And I remember when he signed for you lot last year, I was actually like, I was annoyed because I wanted Jesus at Spurs. I really felt like he was someone who could improve our team because he could play off the wing and he could provide ample competition for Harry Kane. But my challenge to him was, you now are going to be the main man. You're not going to be lumbered by Pep saying that you have to play on the wing and stuff like that. You're going to be the main man. Can you go and score the goals that your team needs? And the problem with Gabriel Jesus is he's just not clinical. Like everything else, he's exceptional at beating players, creating chances, strength, aerial ability, like facilitation. Like he's really, really good at football. But when you need this guy to finish, he can't finish. And I actually think him and Son, that it's like Son's greatest strength is his greatest deficiency, and Son's greatest deficiency is Gabriel Jesus' strength. If because obviously it's only until the last 3 league games that Son has moved central, right? Started central. Obviously, he had games where he switched from the left to the center, but early on in the season, Son was playing out on the left. If Son had Gabriel Jesus' feet to go with his finishing, he would be devastating, absolutely devastating. But the same way, if Gabriel Jesus had,
he could turn on the afterburners. He kind of used to have that.
He did. He had it to a certain extent, but he's not really had it for the last, I would say, 3-4 years. The last 3-4 years, he's been definitely more of a. I'd say last 3 years, he's been more of a forward, like a strictly inside forward, inside left channel. You know what time it is. If you let him come inside on his right foot, left foot, it's Rap City. Right, Gabriel Jesus. The problem with Jesus is he's just not clinical, man. And it's weird because it's like, when is the penny gonna drop? Like you said, he doesn't even have to be 10 out of 10. Like, you don't even have to be taken away. You don't even have to have like a crazy conversion rate, because the amount of chances that Arsenal of old, maybe not so much this season, but the amount of chances that Jesus receives, all it takes is just 20% more composure and you're adding 5 to 10 more goals. But he just can't do it. And some players are just like that. And that's why with Gabriel Jesus, as good as he is, because he is a very good player, and trust me, I've had arguments with Spurs fans saying this guy's talented player, right? Talented player. But as good as he is, there's always going to be a cap on how he will be rated as a striker, because fundamentally, when you need him to have the composure to put teams to bed, he's way too unreliable.
Yeah, the thing is, I agree. To be honest, I don't know what to say. Like with Jesus, even despite all of this, I can't have him out the team. And I wanted to move on briefly just to talk managerial performance, because you mentioned it at the start, but I want to piggyback on this, right? Because we're talking about Ange Ball now, right? He's had an immediate impact. You can see the stars are clear. But if you think about he's a lot similar to Arteta than you think, because you're someone that gives Arteta a lot of stick. You hate on him, but your manager plays just like him.
Mm-hmm.
Your manager, the only difference is one of them has an Australian accent and is a bit fatter and more chill. That's it.
No, our manager was also part of the City group. That's what our manager was. Our manager was also part of the City group. So of course he's had this style of play for years, even before Arteta was a full-time manager. So I hate on Arteta because I don't like him. I think he's a very good manager. I'll be real. I think he's a very good manager, but I hate on Arteta because I simply don't like him. I don't like his demeanor. I don't like his face, and I don't like the fact that he's managing Arsenal. I don't like him. So that's why I hate on Arteta, not because of his managerial quality, although I do think in recent years it's stepped up significantly, because let's not kid ourselves. His first full season as Arsenal manager, he was a shambles and could have been sacked twice or 3 times over. 100. So I think with Ange,
Arteta's also a lot younger than Ange.
He is, but that's what I mean. That's why I'm saying, like, you're saying he plays like Arteta. No, he doesn't play like Arteta. He's had his team set in this way for years, long before Arteta was even managing.
Yeah, so you get what I mean. I'm not saying like it's Arteta's style he's copying. It's essentially Pep Guardiola. He's the innovator here, and everyone's just following him. But what I'm saying is that, like, the playing style is the same, but you just explained it. You just hate Arteta's personality.
Yeah.
And if I Yeah, fair enough, man. I hate. Well, I don't hate. Like hate is a strong word. I guess I don't like a lot of Spurs fans, but it is what it is. I think with Arteta though, I I think I'm not gonna lie. His decisions actually cost us this match. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was saying it today, and I was thinking. I'll get to Ange because I like what I've seen from Ange in terms of how he's got you guys playing. But more, I'll get to Arteta, but I want to focus quickly on Ange. Like I think if you look at Spurs, I don't like Spurs doing well. I'll just be honest. I mean, they're not our competition, but I like them not doing well. They're not our competition.
Okay.
Um, yeah, you're not. Basically, what was I going to say? I completely lost. Yes, Ange. What I like about Spurs, and don't take any offense from this, I think what Spurs have had to be humble in terms of their managerial approach, because I think Pochettino massively, massively, massively overperformed, right? Got squeezed every single drop out of your players, got you guys playing to a really a level way beyond your ability, right? And I think that sort of got some, maybe not all of your fans, but definitely some of your fans and definitely your board got gassed, thinking, okay, cool, we're kind of like we're making that progression to a top team now. Boom, let's go get a top manager. But I think you've seen it. Even though he's washed, Mourinho still technically counts as a top manager. He's washed. Conte counts as a top manager. These guys came and almost looked down on you in terms of their managerial style. They're like, it was almost like they acted as if you guys were lucky to have them. Whereas I feel like you've been a lot more humble in your managerial search. You found a guy who's actually a decent manager. Like when I was like, man, this guy's actually a decent. He's a decent manager. But what I like about him, he's actually happy to be at Tottenham. Like he's full on grateful to be there. And I think it's that power of positivity that is having an impact on your club. Because let's be honest, Basuma is he was a good player last season, right? What's the difference? A lot of players. Romero, he's a good player. What's the difference? It's just this guy's positive. You've got a manager who's actually grateful and happy to be at Spurs, and he's a decent manager. And it's like, okay, cool, decent team for a decent manager. Cool, we now align. And I think this is probably what's making like you guys. Oh, if only your fans could be that humble. Like you guys have now been humble. You found a manager at your level. Like okay, boom, and now you're seeing it. Things are happening. Would you agree or not?
I would agree. I would agree. I'll be real because I didn't even want Ange Postecoglou. I didn't want Ange Postecoglou initially, not because he's a bad manager, but just because I couldn't gauge. Like managers who do incredibly well in the SPFL and then how that translates to the Prem, because you saw the gas on Steven Gerrard. He came to the Prem, struggled. Brendan Rodgers, even though he's much better than Steven Gerrard, he smashed it there, came back, did well with Leicester, but then crumbled. So it was difficult for me, man. It was difficult for me to accept initially. It was difficult for me to accept that like we should be going for Ange Postecoglou when you saw the likes of Nagelsmann, who was free and available and interested in coming to Spurs, right? But you're also right in a sense where it's like Spurs needed to reset the expectation, right? Because the managers that we were bringing in, their expectations here, but Spurs as a club are operating here. Do you get what I'm saying? And there was always going to be a clash. There was always going to be a clash because they were never aligned. Do you get? So I think with Ange Postecoglou, we've got a manager for the first time since Pochettino who is 100% aligned with the way the club wants to be, in a sense where they want to get back to prioritizing the conveyor belt of youth from the academy into the first team. They want to try and prioritize developing the young first team players in the team, and they want to get back to a positive style of play, not just looking at win at all costs, but looking at win the way we want to play. Do you get what I'm saying? Obviously, we've not won anything, but the aspiration is we can win something with Ange Postecoglou playing the way that we want. So I do agree. I do agree. Even me, I needed humbling as well. I didn't want Jose Mourinho. You know me. I didn't want Jose Mourinho, but I wanted Conte. And I felt that we could have done better than Ange Postecoglou. But now I'm really, really happy, delighted to be wrong, because honestly, from day dot, this guy's been he's been a breath of fresh air even before the season started. Like the way he's just handled everything, that his press conferences, the way he speaks on our players, his football ideology, etc., etc. He's just been fantastic. So yeah, man. That's probably a rare W for the Spurs hierarchy.
For Levy. But I think it's that there's a great life principle there though. It's like the power of positivity, because the guy's positive and he's grateful. Like you legit see it. This is his biggest gig and he knows it. You know, I'm sure probably Nuno felt that way, but he's just a terrible manager. The guy's actually a decent manager, but he's genuinely happy to be there. Like he is excited to be there. And that always, and it's just a life, like when you're someone who's got like a grateful mindset, a thankful mindset, a positive mindset, it's always going to have a positive impact on your environment. So like, as much as I don't like Spurs doing well, I do like players, seeing good players like Kulusevski and Basuma actually playing well. I like seeing that, right? And I like seeing players like Son, even though he scored against us, I like seeing him, like players like that actually being able to come out their shell, right? Now onto Arteta before I end it. Like I still rate Mikel. I think Mikel's a better manager than Ange. I don't think there's much of a difference, but I think Mikel's a better manager than Ange. Simply put, because he's definitely under a lot more pressure than Ange, and he's been doing this for a longer period. Fair enough, Ange is showing you something in 6 games or whatever, his first 6 games, but we still got a whole season left, and Arteta's proven over a whole season he can be trusted to do a good job. One of the things, though, I do have to say about Arteta is I rate him and I trust him as the right manager, but I think some of his decisions are really costing us. I think if you look at us this season, how we were positioned at the start of the season. Obviously, the Timber injury threw us off, but the key thing for us this season was always going to be how well he used the squad. And my thing is, what I saw him do in the North London derby is just a joke. If Jesus and Nketiah are fit, bro, you should not be starting Eddie Nketiah. It's not his job to be playing and starting derby games like this. If Jesus is injured and we lack options, okay, great, like last season. It is not he should not be starting. And fair enough, Jorginho makes the mistake, experienced player, but what do you expect? What do you expect when you're not giving a guy as many minutes as he should be getting in games where, like, look, we're done. Like, what do you expect, right? You're not giving these guys a lot of minutes and you throw them into a frenetic derby. What do you expect, bro? So I'm just thinking, and of course, like, I'm going to back him. I know obviously you say shy habits and whatnot. I'm just going to have to trust him, but he's made a huge gamble buying Havertz. He spent 65 M's on Havertz. I don't know what sort of passion project or trying to get his jollies. I don't know what he's doing, but I'm going to back him. But you spent 65 M's on this guy, right, who has completely set off the balance of our midfield. The job he's meant to do, people say, oh, yeah, he came. I thought, yeah, 8. He's not an 8. He's trying to play the Trequartista role. Arteta talks about, how he changes from 10 to an 8. And, bruv, he's doing all of that. He's still not having an impact in the game. No, there's no goals, there's no assists. You've spent 65 M's on this guy. He's offset the balance of our team, and other players are having to do his job for him on the pitch. Yeah. So it's like Arteta, as much as I back him, 100% the spotlight is on him this season. I know, yes, injuries and whatnot, but like I am not giving him the excuse of injuries with the team he's got. You decided to go into the season with Cedric. You decided to spend 65 M's on Havertz. You decided not to buy another right back. You decided not to buy another centre back. You decided to keep playing Eddie Nketiah, a striker. You decided not to give Smith Rowe minutes. So I think Arteta, as much as I still rate him, but he has to hold some criticism for this. 100. I don't know what he's doing.
100. I agree.
I don't know what he's doing. And I think that's why, like, yeah, it remains to be seen what happens this season. But I think if we don't perform to a higher level, I think the board, he shouldn't get sacked, and he's still the man to take us forward. But I think he's really got to look at himself, like, bro, like, what am I doing?
I agree.
Gone.
No, I said I agree. I think the Emil Smith Rowe one is interesting as well, because that's actually a guy who's blitzed us twice at the Emirates, like off on the left hand side. He's killed us 2 successive games. He killed us and was a big component in your results, right? And my thing is with Emil Smith Rowe now, if Jesus is fit, just play him striker and just play Emil Smith Rowe on the left hand side, or play Emil Smith Rowe as the interior. Like, it just doesn't make sense.
Exactly. But anyways, I need to actually see the team anyway. And lastly, to bring final position of each team, where do you see Spurs ending this season?
Pardon?
Where do you see Spurs finishing in the table this season?
I think so. I predicted 5th on the Big Six. I'll stick with 5th. I think we can get 5th this season.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
People are saying Nelson scored 1-0. Perfect. That's great. Let's go. Man, let's win the Carabao Cup. Let's win something. Where do I see Arsenal finishing the season? I said at the start of the season to win it. I'm gonna maintain that. City have started off wildly, but I gotta back us to win it.
Okay, cool.
To win it. Teams grow into the season, so Arsenal to win it. But anyways, man, thanks for joining. Maybe we do this again on your channel or something, but this was great. And hopefully Spurs don't do well enough and I can start roasting them again. Anyways, guys, thanks so much for listening. Make sure to comment, make sure to like, make sure to subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you all next week. Take care, guys. See ya.
Yeah. See ya.